and the Labour Party are attacking Rishi over his record on child abuse. The words pot, kettle and black come to mind, Josh.
Yeah, Labour accused of gutter politics over Sunak attack ad. This is something they put out on Twitter, and basically it sort of says, hey, Sunak's behind really bad stuff, except for the fact, and they're using facts from 2010. They're talking about the 4,500 adults that have been convicted for sex offences against children have not gone to prison under the Tories. Now, that's fair game, but doing it with a picture of Rishi and calling him personally to account when he wasn't an MP until 2015, that, I would argue, is not... it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think the Tory government absolutely needs to be held to account for many things, including some of the... this is a very valid thing. Why have, under the Tory government, so many of these people gone free? And now they're talking also about but they've doubled down by Labour has put out a new advert, a new thing saying about people who had owned guns and with an intent to use them also getting off. So there are.
And I guess under any criminal justice system, there are going to be some people, for whatever reason, who don't get as severe sentences as we think they should.
4,500 adults convicted of sex offences against children not going to prison.
Yeah.
That seems wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, when Keir Starmer was head of the CPS, Nick, I mean, he famously, dropped the ball on grooming gangs.
Yeah, exactly.
Him.
I mean, it's a bad advert anyway, right? Even without the hypocrisy. But then, I just don't believe Labour do care about this stuff. They were the one, when Sarah Champion, who was in Labour, talked about the grooming gangs, she had to resign because they made a big stink about it. And they sided with Naz Shah, who liked to tweet implying it was the victim's fault, even though it was a joke tweet, which she didn't realise.
Yeah.
That was her actual view, presumably. And then they seem to be a bit around the Scottish Gender Recognition Bill. They seem to be sort of half supporting it, which would allow 16-year-olds to basically suddenly, chemically castrate themselves.
Yeah, I believe in the Scottish Parliament, the Tories were the only opposition to the bill.
There you go. And then in general, the far left, not all of Labour, but the sort of far left, seem to push towards this weird sexualisation of this minor attractive person stuff that's really sick. So I just don't trust Labour.
Like extreme minority. I wouldn't argue that there's anybody actually pushing that, any MPs or whatever.
No. It's the online stuff.
Well, there certainly were in the past. I mean, there was I can't remember what the name of the network, the something network. I can't remember.
MAP or something.
Yeah, that's minor attractive person.
Yeah.
But there was some.
But that wasn't Labour, was it?
Yes, it was. It was.
I guess it was just the Tories who were just actually doing all of that stuff.
Well, I think that's a bit of a. That's a bit of a red herring.
Yeah, but it just means you don't exactly trust that Labour are going to be tough on this stuff. It's ludicrous hypocrisy, and it's a tasteless ad. And actually, even their own side have all criticised it and said, what are we doing?
Someone defended Lucy Powell's Shadow Culture Secretary. She said it was a skit. Like, supposedly... I know.
Satirical content. They're telling you it's the same get out.
Who uses the word skit anymore. It says it's a take on the graphics that the Prime Minister himself has produced in the past. So...
Well, there's the advert.
The problem is, as we know with our skits, is you have to trust that the audience are going to get the reference. Otherwise, it doesn't work. If you quote a film or you...
This obviously isn't a satirical advert. This obviously isn't mocking, some sort of... they're saying it's mocking a Tory dog whistle or anything.
It's not a meme, is it?
It's not. This is just a direct attack on Rishi Sunak. Is this flimsy data?
Is this final proof
Data's true.
Is this final proof that the left can't meme? That's what I want to know. But also, to answer your question, Josh, who says skit? The answer is audiences who've just seen you do stand-up.
Yeah.
And they go, I liked your skit or sketch. Oh, really? It's a set. It's not as... have you not had that?
No, I never...
I'm retired, but that's what did it. People calling it a skit.